it's Greg here with Maritime Gardening, and I thought I'd do another one of those like get her done type videos, fixing stuff. I got a problem with this uh, hoop house here. It doesn't snugly fit into this gardening box, and I've been putting off fixing this for a year. And the theme of this video is just getting around to doing stuff that you've been putting off for a while, because it only took a few minutes to fix it. I encountered a few little issues, and I just sort of had to figure it out as I went. I didn't want to dismantle the whole thing, and I had an idea in my mind of just a quick way to fix the problem. So by staring at it for long enough, I realized that it was bowed out in the middle. Basically, the cross member was longer than the two end pieces. So it wasn't fitting because it was too wide in the middle. So all I really had to do was shorten the piece that was in the middle there. And so here I am trying to back. Now luckily for me, I didn't attach this with nails. I put decking screws in here. If I had used nails, I would have had to cut it with a bimetal blade with a reciprocating saw or something like that. But here I am trying to back the screws out, and just because of the nature of end grain, and decking screws as well, they're not threaded all the way to the head. They're only sort of threaded to within, I don't know, about an inch of the head, so they don't pull themselves out of things as aggressively as you might like. So I got both of these screws out of the cross member, but I didn't get them out of the side. But I solved that later. So my idea was I just back the screws out and there'd be no metal in the way. And then I'd go at it with this handsaw and cut this off. So I was trying to figure out a way to... I noticed the screws were kind of, because they were still poking into it, still kind of holding it steady. I was sort of pushing down on it with a little bit with my hand. Remember, the screws haven't come all the way out of the side there. But as I was going through, I thought I felt metal in there. I said, how could there be metal in there? And you don't want to try to cut metal in a really sensitive saw like this. And I felt it again. You can see me sort of staring at it, thinking like, how could there be metal in this thing? and I think I'd probably go at it another time. I'm shaking my head. But yeah, I do go at it another time, trying to think it can't be metal. Maybe it's a knot or something like that. But on a closer inspection, there was a sheared off screw sticking in there. And that's when I realized I don't want to wreck that saw. The blades cost about $50 just for that silky, it's a silky big boy, I think it's called. So I just took that piece, went in the woods, and cut another piece off a tree that was, I estimated I had to take half an inch. That's like, 2.5 centimeters sort of thing. Half an inch off the cross member. So I just cut a new piece of wood that was a little bit shorter than the other one. So here I am. Now this was the part that was on the bottom previously. Trying to get these screws out. These are just number 2 Robinson head 3-inch or 2 3/4 inch decking screws for people that want to know specifics. You can't beat a number 2 Robinson head. For those of you, that's the square one. That's the square. So this here one, it wouldn't come out, so I thought I'd just whack it a few times and get the thread. Remember, the very top, the last inch or so of the screw near the head is not threaded, so it won't back out of things. So I just hammered it into the wood a little bit to engage the thread into that piece, and then it came out no problem. I'm just showing you this stuff just to sort of show, a lot of videos show everything just perfectly tickety-boo, everything working fine, and sometimes half the reason you procrastinate is because you think, well, what if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? What if I can't figure it out? And my advice, just get in there, get your hand dirties, and just try to figure it out, and maybe you break the whole thing. Even if you break the whole thing and wreck everything, you're probably going to build a new one with that knowledge and build a better one. Whatever it is you were making, you're going to make a newer, better one. So here I'm sort of struggling with holding this in place while I'm engaging the screws, and I think I figured out a better way to do this a bit later on. But I'm trying to, the ideal thing would be to have, a friend help. But here I am trying to, hold it down with my torso, I guess my stomach, and while I'm putting those screws in, it's a little bit difficult. But anyway, I got it in, and I thought I'd drive a third screw in there for good measure just to hold it in place, because yeah, screws driven into end grain really don't hold as well as when they're driven cross grain. So end grain just means that, you know, the direction of, in the direction that the tree grew, as opposed to perpendicular to the direction that the tree grew. So now I've flipped it over, and yeah, I think because it had been bowed for so long, right? I built this one maybe, I think I built it last year, so it's sort of stuck in that. But I thought if I just sit on it, that would be a lot easier, right? So this was no problem. You know, for these, it's good to have. So in previous videos, I've talked about using 2x3s for this sort of thing, and I think that's the way to go. This one here in particular, I made just from trees in the backyard out of, just for cheapness. You know, where I live, it's about a half an hour drive to any sort of hardware store. So to go to the hardware store and come back, it takes about, you know, hour and a half to 2 hours. And for me, in a fraction of that time, I can just find something in the woods and use it, and get to work on those basic hewing skills, and save a bit of money. I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Anyway, so here I am. Let's see if she fits. It should fit snugly now, and it does, right? And that's what you want, that nice, snug seal all the way around the side. I think I show this, sort of take you a bit closer here and show you that nice little seal there. So that's the general idea. That's what you want, because if you're creating a sort of mobile, temporary greenhouse, modular greenhouse, you want a nice good seal around the edges to hold the heat in. So hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. And until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden, and get around to those things you've been procrastinating about.